So we are all the way on question number 24 of our series of the top 25 questions that we get from potential home sellers. And question number 24 is, what does the closing process look like for the seller? Okay. So my name is Jeff Boyle. I'm a local real estate agent here in Southwest Ohio. And the answer to this question is typically after you negotiate that contract, once it's signed, you know all the dates that are there moving forward. Okay. You know what the milestones are. You know what to expect. Your agent should have walked you through this process hypothetically already anyway. So you should have a pretty good idea of that. If they did not, shame on them. That being said, what happens is the first thing that's going to happen is you should get some kind of communication from your agent to remind you what all those milestones are in writing. So you can always refer back to it. The next thing that's going to happen is you're going to probably get a home inspection scheduled. Typically in our market, it's somewhere between 7 and 12 or 13 days. That home inspector is going to schedule it probably through the same system that they use for showings. Once that home inspection is scheduled, you should get something from your agent that says these are the things that you need to pay attention to in your house before that home inspection to make sure they're not issues, so you can take care of those if you haven't already done so. And during that home inspection, you need to be out of the house. Once you get out of the house, the home inspector is going to come through. It takes 3, 4, sometimes 5 hours, depending on the size of the house. So make sure that you have something to do for that time. They're going to come through, do the inspection. You have a couple days to negotiate that home inspection. Once that home inspection is fully agreed upon by both buyer and seller, that's usually when the lender is going to order the appraisal on your home. So if they're getting a loan, the bank is going to have to do an appraisal. They do the appraisal for themselves on behalf of the buyer. That appraisal can take anywhere from a couple days to up to a couple weeks, depending on how busy the appraiser is, how much they have going on, how familiar they are, and even where they come from. We see appraisers come from 5-6 hours away sometimes, which is a whole separate conversation. That being said, you'll get a scheduled appraiser through the same software that most likely that the buyer or the home inspector and the buyer use to get through your house. That appraisal, once they do all their work, they're going to send that off back to the lender. The lender is going to tell the buyer where that appraisal came in at. If it's at or above, everything can move forward. And at that point, it goes into underwriting. The underwriter reviews everything for the buyer. It's a lot of sitting and waiting on the seller end. So at that point, once it's approved, we can schedule the closing, we can sit down, and we can have that conversation about when you're actually going to sign the documents and when the occupancy happens and plan around all that. So that's the quick version of what you should expect from a seller. Just stay in contact with your agent. They should walk you through the whole process.